find it back
Hopefully.
somehow. Yeah, we can wait for a few questions. Of course, we lost everything.
There's
We are
code.
back.
We're back.
I don't know. It's so weird. Last time,
stream?
Yeah. And last time when I did it, we did 1.5 hours, and after that, my phone was so hot that basically that was the problem. But now it's not hot, so I don't know. No warnings. Okay. No. Yeah. I don't know what did you hear from me talking, but yeah, Italy comp will be big.
Yeah, it was cutting out a little bit when you were talking about how many drivers and everything for Eurocrawl, and then it totally froze as soon as you said something about comments.
Okay. Yeah, it wasn't long after that when it all went down. So yeah, there was a question about the skid in SCX10 Pro. That why is it on the center and not on the front like some of other rigs has?
For me, I mean, personally, if it was up to me, I would still run a flat skid plate in the center.
Yeah.
So I know there's advantages to the angled skid plates. I know there's advantage to the forward bias skid plates. For me, I think the question was the forward bias skid plates.
Yeah.
For me, the length in the rear is so long, and I haven't messed with it or figured out what I need to do to my shocks yet, and it just it does weird stuff for me.
Okay.
So it wants to kind of unload when you turn up on a side hill, or like especially if you go in reverse, you really will kind of see it doing its thing. So I think it's just all the leverage you have of those links. Like I said, I haven't figured it out yet, but obviously there's a lot of people that have, because you see more and more of them, and I mean, I'm seeing them up in the standings. I'm seeing them crawl in first person, and they do well. So it's just a personal preference for me, what I was going off of. And my previous truck was a flat center skid plate. So which the Pro is based off of.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's cool.
So
yeah, and then there was I tried to remember the comments and the questions, but then there was this basic that in all axial live streams usually somebody asks, bring back the XCR10. Any comments?
It's either bring back the XR10 or when are the cutting brakes coming out? So
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
one of those two. So I've tried. I've asked. I can't say anything about either one at this point. I don't.
Yeah.
I've asked for 3 years now. Like, even if we just take the XR10 files, maybe modify them to do like the bigger bearings, the through bolts, like the mods everyone did to them.
Yeah.
But the problem is it's gone through so many stages. We don't have any of the tooling, I've been told. So it'll be all new molds, all new everything. And then I don't even know if we have the files still. So it would probably be a lot of recreating, a lot of time, and I don't think they see the market in it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I keep asking. I just those are what I just said are the details I get, and basically ends up in a no, not right now.
Yeah. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, I pick my battles. I win some, I lose some. So
yeah. Okay. What were the other questions? People are converting the VDF dual dig for the WRCCA stuff. I have done it. It's a lot of transmission.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had a trans with that for a couple of years now.
Okay.
So always working on something. It just whether it's on one of my personal trucks or it comes out through a brand. So
Yeah, that's cool. So
I think there was another question. There's something about a 2-in-1 on my truck. I don't know. I have the truck I ran at Worlds, the P scale. If they want to see it, it's just a simplified version of the Pro. So I took everything off that isn't needed really.
Yeah.
It was nice and fresh for Worlds, but since then it's been driven a lot.
Okay.
So it's pretty beat up. If I can even, there you go. Yeah. So took different body because I hung up the one that was at Worlds. So
yeah.
And it's absolutely filthy, but that's it there. So
Okay.
no sliders, no bumpers. I had a little bumper on there for Worlds. Took that off, but yeah, just cross braces. Took all the shifting stuff out of the trans, and there's just a little spacer in there. So it's 40% underdrive all the time. No, all the shifting mechanism, the extra set of gears, all that's taken out. So just save a little weight. And then the servo and axle setup.
Yeah.
And just super simplified 2-in-1 BEC. If you're running Spectrum, if you decase, I don't know if you can see in there, but if you decase the receiver, it sits down right on the skid plate next to the trans. So
so you like the 2-in-1 stuff, the motor and
everything. So far that's what it's in all my SORCCA trucks. Anything really scale, or I say scale, but anything really full length chassis builds. So I've had good luck. The 2300 2-in-1s. I know I did put a revolver setup from Holmes in my Sporty. I really liked that, so I might try that in a scale truck in the next year or so, maybe. What really intrigued me at Worlds was the guys running the 380 size revolvers. So I'd like to try a setup like that, maybe in my Pro. So
I have a couple of those motors, and I was thinking also to put in on my Pro, but I don't. I feel the need of the explosive like throttle from the get go, and I don't feel I'm getting that out of the revolvers or the Outrunners.
So I did have that with the revolver, but I'm on 4S. So that was the first time I'd ever ran anything on 4S, but I did get that feeling. And before, everything I had with Outrunners was 3S, and I definitely know what you're talking about. It just didn't have that burst that you need sometimes. So
that's true. What are the questions? What do you think about the portal axles or straights on Shafty?
I went from XR mod SCX10 axles to Capra portals, so I didn't go to I didn't go to a really high end straight axle. I think the portals, they work fine for me. I'm seeing a lot of mullet builds, so like the straight axle in the front, portal rear, just you can control where the front's going. The rear kind of just has to drag over stuff sometimes. And keeps the front end a little lower on climbs, not having that portal up front. So I can see that maybe being an advantage. Personally, I haven't tried it, and I like my truck on portals, so I'm not going to change it. But I usually prefer straight axles. So the portals on the Sporty was something a little newer to me, other than my Class 3 with rear steer, but rear steer can get you out of a lot of things. So
for sure. Yeah, for me, I don't feel the need when you're driving with 2.2 tires, when you are driving with shafty, I don't feel the need for the border of portals in general, but there are a few like terrains that you could benefit from it. But
Years.
in
Yeah,
general, I don't think it's, for me at least.
Yeah, I think the terrain has a lot to do with it. So
Yeah.
here it's a lot of big sandstone, like just rocks. I mean, I don't even call them rocks. Like they're just a whole hillside is a rock face.
Yeah.
So we don't get a lot of sharp edges like there were at Worlds. You know, the water and those like ridges we would be going along. Like we don't have that here. You can go find it, but a lot of it's not here.
Yeah.
So straight axles would probably be just fine. But
yeah,
I heard at Worlds a lot of like the courses you guys are running is kind of like individual rocks and bigger holes and sharp breakovers and things like that, where I could see maybe portals being an advantage.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. I love to hear this type of behind the scenes of prototyping and how this stuff comes to be. Yeah. That's something that doesn't happen very often in this hobby in general, I think.
Yeah. Thanks for the answer. Yeah. Oh, the skid in the center.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. But just what I based the truck on, we'll touch back on it. What I based the truck on was my previous build was a flat skid center. So I just went to an slightly angled skid still in the center. I personally haven't figured out the geometry and everything for a forward skid. It just does some weird unloading things for me. But I saw them run at Worlds. I see them run around here, and they do great. So people have figured it out. I just haven't yet for me and my driving style.
Yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any plans on building new rigs in the future?
Yep. So
can you share anything?
Not a lot, but I can share that in January I left Axial. So yeah. So it wasn't anything bad. Like no hard feelings on either side, at least not from my end. I just had some other opportunities that I wanted to pursue and see where they went.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I ended up starting my own company, doing 3D design work, and just kind of like a freelance designer, and got a few contracts, some full size, some RC still. So
that's cool.
So I am still designing stuff for different companies. I'm still working with Horizon on some things, but I'm not exclusive Axial Horizon employee anymore.
So you are expanding your whole businesses, basically.
Yes, I'm trying. I'm exploring these opportunities. So far, so good, but it hasn't even been a full year yet. So we'll see where they go. But I'm personally working on a new truck for like performance scale, class 2, class 3 possibly. So I'm working on that, and we'll see where it goes. If it's something I can get out there, if it is good or not, who knows? So
yeah, that's cool. Sounds good. Okay.
Yeah, so that's first time like publicly saying that. So whoever's been hearing you, you guys know now. So
yeah. We will see how many people watches this afterwards. But
yeah,
that's cool that we got this reveal in here. So, yeah.
So yeah, still like I said, still a good relationship with those guys over there. I'm still going to Axial Fest, like still helping them, helping test some rigs for them, things like that. So it's not just a close the door, see you later. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
hopefully I get to do more in the future still. It was just other opportunities, and I'm curious to see what I can do. So
Yeah. Make a new class, SORCCA is dead. Most comps are hybrid rules anyway. Yeah.
yeah, it's not looking too hot for SORCCA. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
But I'll play along with the rules and have trucks built for them because I enjoy going to events and hanging out with people and meeting new people and just enjoying the hobby. So if there's another rule set that becomes more popular or a lack of rule set that people just don't care anymore, and it's tire size and a front bumper, basically like performance scale similar. Then I'll play with those rules and come out to those events. So I'm not biased towards any rule set or anything. I like to be there, enjoy the hobby with people, meet new people. But I haven't heard anything about a nationals this year for SORCCA, at least for the US. I don't think, do you guys even do SORCCA over there?
In Finland we do, but after the new rules, it's let's say it's not going up.
Yeah.
But yeah, in Europe there are a few countries that does the SORCCA, but we don't have any bigger events for SORCCA guys. So we have.
I know 2 of this year, and East Coast Championship and Super Safety Fall Crawl. Those are only 2 SORCCA events that I'm aware of that are the bigger, over 100 something people a class kind of deal.
Yeah, it's weird that there are not more like big comps or even medium-sized comps with SORCCA, because there are still plenty of people driving it. So.
The page is still active on Facebook. There's people posting on there all the time, people building new trucks for it. But I don't see it growing like I feel it was the last 2 or 3 years. And I don't know, I would almost say if it hit a plateau, it almost started going back downhill, if anything. So I don't know. I wasn't around for the time of the comp crawler WRCCA getting really big and then kind of falling off. So I don't know if this is similar or not, but
I don't know.
I know some things. Some sort of comping is going to stay around because there's enough guys. I mean, even here we have a north versus south for the state of Utah. So we have 3 north rounds, 3 south rounds. If you finish in the top 20 at any of those, you get to go to the finals, which is usually central Utah, final location. And those rules are the simplest rules I've ever seen. It's like class 2, chassis has to be longer than the wheelbase, 475 tire. That's it. Like, no, you can run a cab only, like it doesn't matter. No bumper, no sliders, it does not matter. And we're getting over 100 people showing up and running class 2, and then we run class 3, which is same rules, just rear steer, and up to like a 6-inch tire. And then we're running MOA and Sporty in the same class, just because it's not as popular. But yeah, we're getting over 100 people showing up to those once a month, and you set your truck in line and you're there all day because you're 50 people back in a course line. So
keeping it simple.
Yeah, I think that's it, because there's, if we're into it, we are in the rules, we're going to events, we're paying money to build these trucks, paying money to be at events. A lot of us have some sort of association with a company or more than one that you're representing or using their products. Like, we're into it. But if you're just a father son or just some sort of family atmosphere and you have a Capra and a gatekeeper, like, you can come out and run with us. Like, it doesn't matter. So
Yeah.
I think
I
that's the
think
draw.
something like this we will need. Something easy to go to in the entry level stuff.
Yeah.
So what else? Any interest of WERC rock rolling?
Yes. So I started building up a unlimited 2.2 truck or buggy, I guess.
Yeah.
Bought the little bender and brazing material and all that fun stuff to make up a cage for another class. The only thing is I don't quite understand. Like they have an event in June, which is supposed to be the nationals, but you have to submit your vehicle, I believe. Like submit pictures and specs, and then they pick so many people to be at the event based on what vehicle you have. So I don't think it's a first 100 people that sign up thing. I think it's last time I talked to them, I think it's no more than like 40, 50 people. So, I'm seeing a lot of people build buggies, and I just don't know if I want to commit to building 3 buggies for 3 classes and then them going, well, we didn't pick yours.
That doesn't sound right.
I don't know how that whole thing's figured out. I could be wrong, but that's how it seemed to me. So I started building a 2.2 just in this area in Utah. Buggies are popular anyways. So a lot of people, it's weird to go out to like a trail run and most people are running a rear steer like Capra or truck. Like most people run rear steer over drag axle here. So it's big here, so I figured, I'll build one to play with that, but I don't know if I'm going to commit to 3 $1,500 builds to go to a comp that I can't definitely sign up for.
Yeah.
So
sounds. I have not looked into it, but it sounds.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I like their rule set. It's simple. They basically, if you don't like the rules, sorry, is their kind of attitude, and that's fine. You can be like that, and there's enough people interested. I'm still interested. I just don't know how the registration thing goes. So
and I really like the look of the rigs. It's really
really if nothing else, the creativity that's been brought out by introducing that is awesome to watch and see what people are doing. So, I somewhere started building a truck. So that's as far as I got.
Okay.
So I did.
Looks pretty nice.
So it's actually a Pro Trans in there. It's hard to see. And then the motor mounts vertical instead of horizontal. So motor mounts motor's way up there, and then I did Pro axles with the Enigma portals.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and then a little since I'm just throwing everything out there on this live stream.
Yeah.
So if you look at the axles, the differentials are on the same side.
True. Yeah.
So this rear pumpkin and servo mount are mirrored.
Okay.
So you have a rear steer truck with how it should be in the real world.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
That was a prototype part. I have like 2 of them, so hopefully I don't break any. We had them sampled, and I just don't think they ever came to market. So but I'm sure if this We Rock thing blows up, it might be something they do.
Yeah.
So
cool.
But yeah. So I'm always building. I mean, always building something. So the comp trucks are, I don't know, a quarter, a fifth of my crawlers. So
Yeah. For the viewers, I saw the whole collection, and that's not all, but you can see
Yeah.
there
And
are
there's we
quite
can
many.
try. I gotta miss a few because there's some things we can't see, but
Yeah,
so there's a little bit of everything in there,
yeah.
and then going over to there. So yeah, we got a SCX6 down there hiding,
Yeah,
super up there. So there's
crazy.
always building. It's the hobby. So
Yeah,
like comping is just part of it for me. I just enjoy all of it. So
yeah. There was another question. In an important competition like the World Cup or Eurocrawl, how do you manage the tension of the race? What advice can you give?
so for me, I learned I learned my lesson over a few years
Yeah,
of driving, and basically the big thing for me was trust yourself in the line you see because you are the only one that knows your truck.
exactly. Yeah,
So I would sit there, look at a course, figure out, okay, I'm gonna go here. This is I kind of picked two options for every gate.
yeah,
This is my first A and B, and then if that doesn't work, we'll give it one more shot and then maybe take a gate. So just
yeah,
depending on time, how the course is. But I look at everything, get my lines, and then the problem was I would sit there and watch 20, 30 people go
mm,
and look at their lines and that looked smoother. Maybe I should just do that.
yep,
Or
yeah,
that looked way easier. I'll do that. And then you second guess yourself. And then once
yeah,
the time starts and the points are on and you get situated and normally you end up halfway between each line and now you're
mm,
off. And so I just stopped watching people. I'll watch
yes,
maybe five people and
yeah,
just to kind of see the course flow
yeah,
and look at the gates, get my plan, and then run it. And
yeah,
if it doesn't go to plan, then that's all on me. That was my
yeah,
idea.
yeah,
I couldn't execute it, or I could execute it.
yes, yes.
And then
It,
Nabil
yeah.
always tells me, I'll ask him about a gate. What do you think about this? He goes, just drive between the green things. So that's always
Yeah,
my go-to is drive between the green things. And then the other
yeah,
one he tells me, which sticks in my head, is he tells me, he goes, I can tell you exactly what to do, but you still have to execute it.
yeah. True,
So
true.
that's where I started. Just I know my truck, I know how I drive. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna trust the line I see because I
yeah,
have to execute it.
yeah,
So
yeah. Those are good advices. I agree completely.
yeah, that was as soon as I stopped watching people and just running the lines I saw, I instantly started placing better.
Yeah,
And I mean, it was that competition. I was like,
yeah,
wow, I've never been in the top 10 or I've never done this
yeah,
well. So that's my number one piece of advice. And then just drive between the green things.
yeah. Do you usually, when you look at the course before you run, do you usually plan uh, all the route between the gates, even if the terrain is easy? You plan where
Yes.
to turn, and you plan
Yep.
basically everything.
I look, I probably look in between the gates and around the gates at about the same time, if not more, than the actual gate.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I like to spend no time. I'll drive fast in between gates, get to it, so I can spend 30 seconds or a minute trying it, and then I can keep going. Whereas if you're just creeping along, oh, I hit a diff here, there's a reverse, and you go and
yeah.
it's that little stuff that it comes down to at
And
the
it's
higher end.
yeah,
And I just want to make sure, okay, that's a little off camber. Well, I can just drop over there and come back up. It'll be
yeah,
2 seconds longer, but I can do it at 50%, 75% throttle. I'm not crawling
yeah.
around this obstacle that's not an actual obstacle on the course.
Mm, yeah,
So yeah, I look a
that's true.
lot. of in between and then out of gates. Like, okay, I might slide off this. Can I bump it and turn around, or do I need to crawl up next to gate, drop back down? Like, how do I get back set up if something goes wrong?
Yeah.
So I looked at that probably more than the actual gate itself.
Yeah, and after all, it's a lot of information when you start thinking about it. If you make plans for possible rollover where your car lands on a ditch and you have to think where to drive back up, people don't usually spend time on thinking what if something goes wrong, and then when it does, they are really screwed because they don't have an idea what to do.
Do because it always goes wrong at least once in a row. So
yeah, that's true.
And then the tension or like getting nervous, it's just time. Like I used to get nervous running and not anymore. I know I have 6 minutes. I know I have points, and you drive, and the more you do it, you get a feeling like an internal clock. You can kind of tell within 30 seconds, okay, I need to go, or I can spend a little longer and try this again.
Yeah.
So it's just doing it.
It's funny when we use this crawler results web page for judging, and there are always like when you have 1 minute left, comes from the phone comes this beep, and you know that there is 1 minute, you still have a lot of time. But when it starts beeping like beep beep beep, then you have 5 seconds. Then you need to rush. So yeah, it's fun.
A lot of the transmitters guys are using, they'll have timers on them.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of guys that set like a 5-minute timer, and then their remote vibrates or beeps or something, and then they know they have a minute. So it's all personal preference how you get used to driving the course.
Yeah. What do you two recommend for sporty tires? You go first.
I have silver voodoo pins.
I have gold voodoo pins. But this is a stupid suggestion because they don't no longer make them. So for the tires that are for the tires that are on the market, I would go maybe Ibex or Bully Comp tire. Depends on the terrain so much.
If you go Ibex, make sure you get the G8.
Yeah.
I tried the Predator. I've never seen where the Predator Ibex works better. It was like a slip and slide, even on my sandstone.
Really?
So it's just super soft. The pins just fold over. Like don't get much. I put super big inners in it to try and get it firmer, and I tried some different things, different width wheels, and I could not get them to work how I wanted. But the Voodoo silvers or golds. But like you said, recommending a tire that doesn't exist.
yeah, it's not such a good idea, but they were good tires.
Yeah. Reading some of the comments here. Yep. You got a fan down there.
Looks like it, yeah. But I think we have gone now. The last stream was 40 minutes, and now we are closing 40 also. So I think we are pretty much in the range that I wanted, 1 to 1.5 hours. Unfortunately, the stream broke down in the middle, but there's nothing much I can do about it. But this has been working flawlessly now, so it's good.
Yeah.
So, anything to add from your side?
I don't think so. Just playing with RC cars, building some new stuff. Hopefully, crossing my fingers, I'll have a new rig in Italy for performance scale.
Oh,
so that's my goal.
Would be nice.
Setting. So we'll see. We'll see if that happens.
Yeah.
But,
there's one more question. What is your favorite class to drive from WRCCA and SORCCA? What is your favorite?
ooh, I think I have to go with Super.
Yeah.
It's fun, and I'm biased towards rear steer because SORCCA, I love my favorite's Class 3. So
yeah. For me, the same.
Yeah, Super. I've only driven it 2 or 3 times now, but it gives you all the options, and it's such a big vehicle. It's not. It's almost not terrain that you can even practice on unless you specifically take your Super out and set gates up. So that's
true. Yeah.
I like that. And then Class 3 and SORCCA, the rear steer, you can use dig now. So a little bit bigger tires, a little wider truck.
Yeah.
So.
They go anywhere, basically.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we are done. I have to wake up in 4 hours to work, so yeah. But it has been a pleasure to have you in this podcast for the first episode ever, and I think we will continue with another guest. My plan is to have guests around the world, so I think we will be with European guests next, and then go to Australia or somewhere there, and
Awesome.
then back to the States.
Yeah, I'll be tuning in to watch.
Yeah, and it was pleasure to have you here, and we will see you in Italy.
Yes, thank you.
Hopefully with your new rig.
I hope so. We'll see.
Yeah.
But I'll be there no matter what.
Yeah. And good luck for the next weekend for the Arizona shootout.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks for all the viewers, and we'll see you next time.
Yep.
See ya.
See ya.